It is census in Uganda. They are counting us and everything in our lives. But the questions are causing tension in homes. The census questions they're asking are causing breaking news. Someone gives an answer and the family members look at themselves like, in so many occasions, the enumerator has to be like, is that the final answer? Should I come back? And we're a very nosy country. We can't let something pass. I'm very sure the whole time enumerators were being given answers, they kept making little noises and faces. In some moments, even putting a follow-up question. So what do you do? Nothing at the moment. So how do you pay for this whole place? And now you have to do what you have to do. Questions were complicated. We were not ready. They should have sent these questions like at least 2 weeks before, so that families can prepare. Otherwise, hey. And if the enumerator they send to your home is your ex, the questions can get really colorful. I'm telling you, if you don't want to test the lifespan of your family, just leave dogs outside. Door stand bang. Like the question on children. By the way, you people, let us choose peace and harmony. I think for once and for all, as a nation, let us agree in one voice that children come from God. Let them count them as his. Then a part where they asked whether anyone in the home is pregnant. And the follow-up question was, has anyone in the home ever been pregnant? What are you trying to say? This census, they ask you a question and you're like, if I tell you the truth, will you keep it as a secret? And it felt abrupt for something so important. Its sensitization came like a week towards the census. I was like, no, I think the government did this on purpose. Why? I mean, in the past months, there have been so many accountability calls from people, this money, this road, this iron sheet. So I think the government was like, let us be petty and announce a census of questions that are 29 pages. Hey, so that number could touch. Because, okay, fine, we didn't do that road, but for you, where's the father for these kids? By the way, what was that question of, does the father of the kids sleep here? What census is that? And by the way, government, the best way to conduct census in Uganda, ask the neighbors. The family members never know anything. It's us who know. We just keep quiet. Ask the neighbors. They know. 29 pages. I found it really exhaustive because apart from the gender part here, the gender they only considered male or female. They didn't take into account the other 40-something genders. I don't know, probably budgets. But the other things were really exhaustive. There were questions on waste management, questions on food security. I was glad to find questions on mental health. I mean, there was a specific question asking how often you're anxious, nervous, and worried, to which I answered all the time. My most interesting part was the part on marriage. Yeah, like what's your marital status? Among the options was the answer that I don't know. That's when I realized that this government knows its people. Because so many people don't know what's going on. The person is not single and they're not married. Like it's not even complicated. It's mysterious. It's confusing. Like, Someone has signs of marriage but doesn't have the symptoms. If you were to do a confirmatory lab test on whatever some people are having, the litmus paper wouldn't turn blue-black. The litmus paper would sigh. But again, some questions were unnecessary. Like the question of, why did you leave your last residence? Okay, what did you want us to say? What, pests and diseases, drought? I had to move. I had to move because it was not my house. And the owner of the house had creative ways to remind me that it is not my house. The other unnecessary question was around occupation, asking us, in which sector do you work? In Uganda here, sector. Here in Uganda, we are flexible. You will find a farmer who is a lawyer that sells bags, but has a WhatsApp business that sells human hair. I want to tell you, on Judgment Day, God will say, no, Uganda, they tried. Asking about highest level of education achieved was also unimportant because it has never been important. You people, you just wanted to laugh. Okay, you who was counting us, you also studied, but you hear counting. Which course was that? BS counting? Level of education has never been important. Government, census helps government plan. There's no answer that can help you plan any. Okay, you look at me. What level of education is this? Do I help you plan anything? You can't even plan to rob me. Anyway, the exercise is about to come to one end, and so many of you are not going to be counted. You finally realize that you don't count. Your ex was right. Almost doesn't count. That song was about you. You were almost handsome. You almost had money. You were almost
Stay on topic, please.
Anyway, census is supposed to help government plan for you. Now you are not counted, which means you're now an unplanned citizen. Yet you are already an unplanned child. Consistency.
Okay, just stop.